So last time we have seen up to the equation C, A object upon A moon is equal to small r square upon capital R square. Small r is the distance of the moon from the earth and capital R is the distance of the object kept on the surface of the earth from center of the earth, like this. So this equation C shows that the acceleration of the object is inversely proportional to r square, where r is the radius of the earth and they are inversely proportional. So A moon is in the denominator and small r is in the numerator. Therefore, A moon is also inversely proportional to r square. So in general, acceleration is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two bodies. Now, if F is a force exerted by the earth on the object of mass m, then by Newton's second law of motion, force is equal to mass into acceleration, where m is the mass of the body, a is the acceleration. So since acceleration is inversely proportional to r square, therefore f is proportional to m. M is a constant for a given mass of the body upon r square, equation 6. Now the same force is exerted by the object on the earth. So now force is exerted by the object on the earth. So here mass should be that of the earth. In this case, m is the mass of the object. In this case, m is the mass of the earth. So f is directly proportional to m upon r square. So in both equation, it is the force between the earth and the object, and therefore the object has mass small m, the earth has mass capital M, and r is the distance between them. So this equation 6 and equation 7, when they are combined, we get F is proportional to m into m upon r square, where m is the mass of the earth, m is the mass of the object, and r is the distance between them. So Newton concluded that the gravitational force of attraction between the two bodies having masses capital M and small m separated by distance r is directly proportional to m into m product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So this is the start of the Newton's law of gravitation. It is the universal law of gravitation. So now we have to see this universal law of gravitation in detail, like this. So we will go for Newton's law of gravitation. So the universal law of gravitation was given by Newton. Newton's law of gravitation. So we already know the statement of Newton's law of gravitation. So it is not necessary to write down the statement. I will explain only. So if m1 and m2 are the two point masses or two bodies separated by distance r, then these two bodies attract each other. The force of attraction F, it is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the two bodies and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So if we combine them, then F is proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. If we remove the proportionality sign, then we have to take some constant. So G m1 m2 upon r square. This is equation 1. It gives the magnitude. In magnitude, the Newton's law of gravitation is given like this. Now, this G is a universal constant of gravitation. Why it is called universal, that we have already seen. Its value is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. The unit will be Newton meter square kg square, like this. So this is the value of G. Why it is called as universal constant? The reason we already know. It is independent of medium. It is independent of distances between the two objects. It is independent of masses of the two objects. So whether the two masses are very microscopic body like electron or very macroscopic body like sun, earth, etc., then G remains same. So it is called as a universal constant. Now this is the magnitude, and what is about the direction? Vector force, vector F is always directed along a line joining the two masses or center of mass of the two evenly or huge bodies. If the size of the body is very large, then we will take the line joining their center of mass like this. So this is the magnitude, this is the direction. Now this Newton's law is given in vector form like this. So that vector form can be given. This is in magnitude only. Vector form. Vector form of Newton's law. Newton's law of gravitation. So here we are considering this Cartesian coordinate system. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and this is the z-axis. This is the origin O. So one particle of mass m1 is say kept here, another particle of mass m2 is say kept here. So the first particle has the position vector r1. The second particle has the position vector r2. So if m1 has coordinate x1, y1, z1, then r1 is given by I times x1 plus j times y1 plus k times z1 like this. So r1 and r2 are the position vector. Now these two bodies attract each other. So if we join the line joining them, then m2 will attract m1. So this force is directed in the direction force of attraction, and this force will be denoted by F12. इलेक्ट्रोस्टॅटिक मध्ये आपण हे सिम्बॉल यूज केलेलं आहे. द फोर्स एक्झर्टेड ऑन m1 by m2 on m1 by m2, and m1 will also exert the gravitational force of attraction on m2. So m2 is attracted here. So this force is denoted by F21. So this F21 is in the direction. So we can draw a unit vector in the direction. So unit vector is drawn from m2 to m1. So this is the unit vector r21. Now this force is in the direction. Therefore the unit vector in the direction of x12 is given like this. It is drawn from 1 to 2. So it is a r12 like this. So these are the vectors. So F12 is equal to gravitational force of attraction exerted on m1 by m2, and therefore vector F12 is equal to g m1 m2 upon distance between them. The distance is denoted by r. So r square, this is the magnitude, and now this is the force exerted on m1. So if we consider the vector r21 on this side, then we have to add the minus sign. because force is in the direction and R21 is in the direction. आपल्या नोट्समध्ये हे अशा प्रकारचे इक्वेशन दिलेले आहेत. चेक करून घ्या इक्वेशन. दिस इज अ वेक्टर फॉर्म and F21 is equal to gravitational force of attraction exerted on M2 by M1 and F21 is given by G M1 M2 upon R square, where R is the distance between them, into. Now, if we consider this force and this unit vector, so it is again minus R12. So in this case, this R12 is a unit vector. So its magnitude is 1. Unit vector drawn from M1 to M2. Sorry, from M2 to M1. हा तो वेक्टर आपण दाखवलेला आहे. And F21, R21, it is a unit vector drawn from, see the direction, it is directed from M1 to M2, like this. So this is a vector equation. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. So this GMM upon R square is common, and therefore these two vectors are in opposite direction. Since R21 and R12 are in opposite direction, therefore F12 and F21 are also in opposite direction. Also, magnitude of F12 is equal to magnitude of F21 is equal to G M1 M2 upon R square, and therefore we can draw the conclusion like this. F12 and F21 are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. तर अशा फोर्सेसला आपण ॲक्शन रिॲक्शन पेअर म्हटलेलं आहे लक्षात. सो F12 they are equal in magnitude opposite direction and exerted on two different body. एकाच बॉडीवर जर फोर्सेस ॲक्ट होत असेल तर ॲक्शन रिॲक्शन नाही होणार. सो F21 F12 and F21 forms action reaction pair. Action reaction pair. So these equations give the vector form. Vector form of Newton's law of gravitation, like this. Now, here we are considering only two bodies of masses m1 and m2. But now, if we consider a system of number of bodies, then what is the change? So this principle of superposition of forces we have also used in electrostatics. The same statement is given, but in electrostatic it is for the charges for electrostatic forces, and it is now for point masses for gravitational force. एवढा फक्त चेंज आपल्याला देता येईल मग. So the statement is like this. For the system of point masses, the masses may be 2, 3, 4, n, like this. For the system of point masses, The gravitational force acting on any one of them is given by vector sum of the gravitational forces exerted on that point mass due to all other means remaining masses. So explanation. Here for simplicity we are considering only the 3-point masses. Suppose this is the point O, this is the particle of mass m1 kept at point A, this is the another particle of mass m2 kept at point B, and this is m3 kept at point C, like this. So m1, m2, m3 are m2, m3, m4 are the masses kept at point A, B, C respectively, and at point O there is a particle of mass m1. So m1 will be attracted by m2, by m3, by m4. So these forces are like this. So the force exerted by m2 on m1 is in this direction. So we will denote it. It is the force exerted by m2 on m1, F12. This is the force exerted by m3, F13. This is the force exerted by m4. So there are 3 forces acting on this particle of mass m1. So let F1 is equal to total gravitational force acting on m1 due to m2, m3, m4. Therefore, by this statement, vector F1 is equal to the gravitational force due to the m2 plus gravitational force due to the m3 plus gravitational force due to the m4, like this. So total force or net force acting on the particle of mass m1 is given by या प्रत्येकाचे इंडिव्हिज्युअल इक्वेशन पण आपल्याला लिहिता येऊ शकतील. आपण आता एकाच इक्वेशन लिहू where F12 is equal to G m1 m2 upon r12 distance between this whole bracket square, like this. This is the magnitude. And now if we have to add the direction, then this is equal to vector r21. If unit vector drawn from m1 to m2, so either you can write like this: vector is drawn in the direction r12 and r21 will be in the direction. So this is equal to r12, like this. Similarly, f13 is equal to dot dot dot. F14 is equal to dot dot dot. So equation A can be used to find the vector sum of the forces acting on the bodies. Now, 2 applications are given in our notes. The gravitational force at any point inside the hollow closed object of any shape is always 0. Why? This is the reason. Only this first application that we have to explain. Second application is as usual. So if this is a hollow sphere and say this is a particle of mass m kept here, so this segment has mass dm1, this next segment has mass dm2, etc. So this whole sphere may be hollow, may be solid. It is divided into the number of elements. So between dm1 and m there is a force. It is a force of attraction. So this is the force F1. This is the force F2, like this. So there are n forces acting on m, and they are having in different direction, in different magnitude. So these are concurrent forces. They cancel, and therefore resultant force acting on is 0. So F is equal to 0. Total gravitational force on mass m inside the hollow sphere, like this. Now note this point. The next article is 5.4, measurement of gravitational constant capital G. Gravitational constant capital G. So this article is deleted or non-evaluatory article. या चॅप्टर मधलं फक्त हे एकच आर्टिकल डिलीट केलेलं आहे, मेजरमेंट ऑफ ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल कॉन्स्टंट कॅपिटल जी. बाकी सर्व आर्टिकल आहेत तसेच आहेत. सो प्लीज नोट दिस पॉईंट. कदाचित तुम्ही ज्या नोट्स दिलेल्या त्याच्यामध्ये हा पार्ट कट केलेला नसेल. सो दिस आर्टिकल इज डिलीटेड. नाउ लेट अस सी द values of gravitational acceleration in terms of this Newton's law or relation between capital G and small g. So here we have to find the expression for G. Case number 1. Relation between universal gas constant, universal constant of gravity field and G on Earth surface. So if this is a planet Earth, its center is this, m is a mass, r is a radius of the Earth, and now a point mass m is kept on the surface of the Earth. When an object of mass m is kept on Earth surface, याचा अर्थ हाईट 0 आपण कन्सिडर करतोय. दॅट इज height of the object from the surface of the earth, h is equal to 0. So in this case f is equal to gravitational force of attraction on m GMM upon capital R square. This is equation 1. So F is equal to gravitational force. It is also equal to weight of the body of mass M. So F is equal to M into G. This is equation 2, where the meaning of G is important. G is a gravitational acceleration due to Earth on gravitational acceleration on the surface of Earth. Sometimes it is also denoted by G0 because height is 0. The Hebrew symbol काही बुक्समध्ये यूज केलेला आहे. And therefore, if you equate this, then M into G is equal to GMM upon R square, and therefore G is equal to universal constant of gravitational field, mass of the Earth upon radius. So this is equation capital A. Or the same equation can be written as Gm is equal to Gr square. एक खालचं इक्वेशन आपल्याला जास्त वेळा लागेल. G is a universal constant and small g is a gravitational acceleration due to the Earth on its surface, like this. So this is one relationship. Now the second case is like this. When the object is not on the surface of the Earth, but it is kept at height h from the surface of the Earth. So that is the second case. When an object of mass m is kept at height h above from Earth's surface. तर इथे इक्वेशनमध्ये काय चेंज होतो आपल्याला माहिती पाहिजे. सो सेकंड केस इज like this. This is the planet Earth having mass capital M. This is the center. So this is the radius of the Earth, and now the point object is kept here. So this height is h. So at this point, the gravitational acceleration is denoted by gh. Let gh is equal to gravitational acceleration due to Earth at height h from Earth's surface. So we have to find the relation between this, and therefore, by Newton's law of gravitation, force F is equal to G m upon distance square. But now the distance is r plus h. R plus h bracket square. So this is equation 3. And by Newton's law, weight F is equal to m into gh, where gh is a gravitational acceleration due to the Earth at height h here. So this is equation 4. So 3 and 4 gives 3 and 4 gives m into gh, gravitational acceleration at h is equal to g r plus h whole bracket square. So m will get cancelled. So gh is equal to gm upon r plus h whole bracket square. This is equation B. Or this equation can also be given by gm is equal to gh into r plus h whole bracket square. Both equations are say denoted by B. So gm is equal to gr square on the surface of the gm is equal to gh into r plus h bracket square. So left hand side is same, equating RHS equating right hand side of equation capital A and capital B. So gh into r plus h bracket square is equal to gr square, and therefore the gravitational acceleration at height h is equal to gravitational acceleration on the surface of the earth r square upon r plus h bracket square. So this can also be written as gh is equal to g into r upon r plus h whole bracket square. This is equation C. So this is the relation between the gravitational acceleration at head h and so now using this equation C we can explain the effect of height h on g. So the value of gravitational acceleration is affected by so many factors. There are 5 factors: height, depth, then angle of latitude, frequency of rotation of the earth, etc. So first we will study this effect of height h on g. So gh is equal to g into bracket r upon r plus h whole bracket square. This is equation C. So equation C shows that as height h increases, then the value of gravitational acceleration decreases. Height increases because it is in the denominator. Now there is a special case. When the height of the object is very small as compared to r, then what is the relation between gh and g? So I will arrange this equation like this. gh is equal to g into bracket r upon r divided by r plus h upon r whole bracket square. Divide numerator and denominator by r. So this is equal to g into bracket r upon r is 1. This is r upon r plus h upon r bracket is 2. So this is equal to g into bracket 1 upon 1 plus h upon r bracket square, and therefore gh can be written as this 1 plus h upon r. When it is taken in the numerator, it will become minus 2. It becomes minus 2. तर याचा आपण बायनॉमियल एक्सपान्शन करू शकतो. Say this is equation 5. This was equation 4. Now this is equation 5. When h is very much less than r, then by using binomial expansion and neglecting higher power terms, म्हणजे raised to 2, raised to 3, etc. higher power terms of h by r we get. तर इथे जर मायनस साइन असेल तर आपल्याला 1 प्लस याला आपण जर एक्स म्हणून घेऊ, पण आपण एक्स रेस टू मायनस 2 जर घेतला तर 1 मायनस प्लस मायनस फर्स्ट टर्म इज पॉझिटिव्ह, सेकंड टर्म इज निगेटिव्ह. So this is the bracket raised to 1, this is bracket raised to 2, this is bracket raised to 3, etc. So h upon r, h is very much less than r, therefore h upon r is very small, its square will be still small. So neglected. So only the first two terms are remaining, and therefore gh is equal to g into bracket 1 minus factorial 2. So factorial 2 has value 2 h upon r. So this is the again same result. As the height h increases, the value of gravitational acceleration decreases because this is 1 minus 2 times h upon r. This is equation B. The result is same. As height h increases, the value of the gravitational acceleration goes on decreasing. But this equation has condition. This equation is used only when h is very much less than r. इथे कंडिशन है h height h has any value. इथे लिमिटेशन when h is very much less than r, इथेच आपण ऍड करून टाकलेलं आहे. Then we can use this formula. So the effect of height on the value of gravitational acceleration is explained like this. There are two equations, g is equal to g into bracket r upon r plus h bracket square, and this is one more equation, g into bracket 1 minus 2 times h upon r. तर कुठलं इक्वेशन केव्हा यूज करायचं ते आपल्याला माहिती पाहिजे. जी एम इज इक्वल टू जी आर स्क्वेअर हे जे इक्वेशन आहे, दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट इक्वेशन. वी विल रिक्वायर दिस इक्वेशन so many times. So this is the effect of height. Now we have to consider the second factor. What is the effect of depth? आपण अर्थच्या सरफेसपासून खाली गेलो अर्थच्या सेंटरकडे तर जीमध्ये काय चेंज होतो. सो वी विल स्टडी दिस इफेक्ट ऑफ डेप्थ ऑन द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल ॲक्सेलरेशन लाईक दिस. So we will consider the situation like this. Suppose this is the Earth planet, height h is equal to 0. So consider the point say P at depth d. This is the center of the Earth. So this distance is r. And therefore this distance is, we will denote this distance by r1 is equal to r minus d. So now we will consider this imaginary sphere passing through the point P. So it has radius r minus d and its mass is m1, and this real Earth has mass m. So these are the two cases. First, the object is kept here, then the same object of mass m is kept here. So we have to find the value of g at this point. This is the gravitational acceleration at depth d. Gd is equal to question mark. On the surface of the Earth, the value of gravitational acceleration is g. बरोबर. So case number 1. when object of mass m is on Earth's surface, then gm is equal to gr square. Equation 1, where m is equal to mass of the earth and this is equal to density of earth, density of the material of the earth multiplied by volume of earth, and therefore m is equal to rho multiplied by 4/3 pi r cube. So substitute here, therefore g rho 4/3 pi r cube gr square. एक आर कैंसिल होते हैं, therefore g is equal to 4/3 pi rho g r. So this is equation 2. 4/3 pi g rho into r. Density च्या ठिकाणी d पण सिंबल यूज केलेला आहे. Now second case is important. When a body of mass m is kept at point P at depth d below the surface of the earth, below the surface of the earth, then equation 1 becomes काय चेंजेस होतील. g mass is replaced by m1 is equal to g d multiplied by distance is r1 bracket square. gm is equal to gr square चा आपण फॉर्म्युला यूज केलेला आहे. gd is equal to gravitational acceleration at depth d. m1 is equal to mass of the sphere, that is part of the earth, having a radius r1 is equal to r minus d as shown in the figure, and therefore m1 is equal to density multiplied by volume. Volume of the shaded sphere. Here अपन shading करतो like this, and therefore m1 is equal to density multiplied by volume 4/3 pi r1 cube. So density rho multiplied by 4/3 pi r minus d whole bracket चा किंवा सध्या आपण फक्त r1 च राहू. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2, this is equation 3. So put this value here, and therefore g m1 Now m1 is substituted by rho into 4/3 pi r1 cube is equal to gd into r1 square. So this is r1 square, this is r1 cube. So r1 square will get cancelled, only one r1 is remaining. So g into rho into 4/3 pi r1 is equal to gd. r1 की वैल्यू फर्दर सब्स्टिट्यूट कराना, therefore gd is equal to 4/3 pi g rho, and this is equal to r minus d. Say this is equal to 4. So this is the value of g. That is the value of gd. So we have to find a relation between gd and g. Divide 4 by 3. Divide 4 by 3. So left hand side is gd by g is equal to this 4/3 pi g. This bracket will get cancelled. Therefore, this is r minus d upon r. So this is equal to r upon r minus d upon r, that is equal to 1 minus d upon r, and therefore gd is equal to g into bracket 1 minus d upon r. So this is equation 5. So each upon 1 minus something. So as depth increases below the surface of the earth, then this GD also goes on decreasing. So what is the conclusion? As the depth D increases, the value of GD decreases. म्हणजे हाईट आणि डेप्थचा इफेक्ट आपल्याला सारखाच मिळाला. आता याच्या दोन केसेस आपल्याला देता येतील. केस ए, when depth D is equal to 0, that is on surface of earth, this equation 5 gives GD is equal to G into bracket 1 minus 0, and therefore GD is equal to G. Case B, case B, at the center of earth where D is equal to R. Equation 5 gives GD is equal to G into bracket 1 minus R upon R. Put D is equal to R. So this is equal to GD into bracket 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So gravitational acceleration becomes 0. So at the center of the earth, GD is equal to 0. Therefore, weight of the body W is equal to mass multiplied by gravitational acceleration is also 0. So weight of the body becomes 0 at earth center. म्हणजे जी ची व्हॅल्यू मॅक्झिमम अर्थच्या सरफेसवर आहे आणि नंतर depth प्रमाणे decrease होते. So as height increases, depth this gravitational acceleration decreases. So g varies with height h and with depth d. The result is same. On both sides above the surface of the earth as height increases, g decreases. Below the surface of the earth as depth increases, the g decreases. So this variation of g with height and with depth is represented combinedly by a graph. So that graphical representation we will see next time. Okay, we will stop here.